Are you caught up in your illusion?
Oh, yeah.
Are you telling yourself something that's making you feel less than joyful?
Oh.
Is it true that if it's not one thing, it's another?
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
If it's not one thing, it's another. Remember, you don't have to believe anything that I say to you today, which we've been successful at. You don't have to accept anything. Some of the ideas are going to be hard to believe. Some of it's going to be quite startling. Nobody's asking you to analyze and judge. Whether you accept or believe something has nothing to do with the truth of it. So you're not the arbiter of what's true. And I'm not either. The universe only wants you to be happy. God's will for you is perfect happiness. You just need to get on board. I just need to get on board. You are an unlimited being. You are a being unlimited by nature, born into flesh to materialize as best you can the great joy and spontaneity of your nature. You are a being unlimited by nature, born into flesh to manifest as best you can the great joy and spontaneity of your nature. You are a being unlimited by nature, born into flesh to materialize as best you can the great joy and spontaneity of your nature. You are a being unlimited by nature, born into flesh to manifest the great joy and spontaneity of your nature. Whether you believe it or not, whether you believe it or not, whether you believe it or not, you are a being unlimited by nature, born into flesh to materialize as best you can the great joy and spontaneity of your nature. You bless the world because you bless yourself. I bless the world because I bless myself. 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 I bless the world because I bless myself, and I am entitled to miracles. 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 Claim it for yourself. I am entitled to miracles. I am entitled to juicy 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 miracles. Light and joy and peace abide in me. 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 And let miracles replace all grievances. Let miracles replace all grievances. Let miracles replace all grievances. Let miracles replace all. Now take a breath and breathe. And let it in and breathe. Let it in and breathe. I think I need a little bit more light.
All right.
Just a little bit more. These guys just got me 2 free drinks the other night. I'm just not gonna charge you. It's funny, you know. You see people break out with these big smiles. I be walking around with my glasses on, people just break out. I thought that was turning them on. It was my glasses. You know, women just went. I thought it was me. If I hadn't known it was this easy, I would have got me some glasses a long time ago. Been working too hard. What's for you is irresistible to you. What's for you can't resist you. What's for you can't resist you. So are you seeking after something that resists you? If you're seeking after something that resists you, you're seeking for some drama. I'm going to continue with what we were talking about in the Course in Miracles last week. And I'm going to cover some of it, throw it over for question and discussion. And cover some of it and open it up for question and discussion. All the questions that you're asking yourself about everything, the answers to all of it is contained within the Course. Every problem that you think you have, everything that's bothering you that you'd like to experience differently, the answer to it is contained within A Course in Miracles. It's not the only path, but for some people it's their path. It's what speaks to them. Not everybody, but some people. Aren't you glad to know that there are many paths to the truth? And how many have you tried? Collecting different recipe books will not bake the cake. So going from one thing to another thing to another thing that you don't use will not bake the cake of happiness that you want. Another thing that is just important to realize is that I know we're in a society that's used to instant everything. You know, we've gotten so spoiled. We look for instant food. We look for instant loving. We look for things to show up just like that. I'm sorry, enlightenment doesn't work that way. In order to let yourself be as happy as you could possibly be, it is not going to happen overnight. So you can think you're going to get on some spiritual path, and then within 1 month you're going to see your entire life turn around, but you're kidding yourself. Unless you're like the most motivated person in the world. You're getting up in the morning, you're studying, you're meditating, you got a curriculum, you're following it all day, you're making sure that you do it at night before you go to bed, and this is all day, all through the day. And you might see some shifts so fast it would shock you. But if you're still lightly touching in on your spiritual path, and then the rest of the time you're pretty much dealing with everything else the way you always have, and it's the thing you do after you think you get everything else taken care of. Do not expect your enlightenment to happen quickly. It won't. And you're beautiful, and you're innocent, and you're loved, and you're safe, but don't kid yourself. Don't kid yourself. I've been doing this for over 35 years. And there's no such thing as instant enlightenment. It just doesn't exist. In terms of me not investing some time in my spiritual practice like I do in everything else, and then getting a result. So what happens with our generation is we lightly try something for a short period of time, it doesn't work, and then we jump to the next thing and lightly do it. You can sit right over here, darling. Yeah. Good to see you, Tanya. Okay. So, a healed mind is relieved of the belief it must plan. So if you have a healed mind, you don't believe you need to plan.
Earl, what page
What
are we
does that
on?
mean?
We're in the lesson 135. If I defend myself, I'm attacked. In the workbook, page 253 in the Foundation for Inner Peace version. Paragraph 11. I covered some of this last week, so I'm just going to go through this first couple of paragraphs pretty fast so we can take up where we left off. I almost left my body a couple of weeks ago in a fire in my apartment. Some of you are aware of that. And it had a profound effect on my motivation. I saw God save me. I heard God save me. So it stepped up my belief that there is invisible guidance that I can call on, because I heard it tell me to listen. And that's how I knew my apartment was on fire. Had I not taken the time through my spiritual study to get to the point that I could hear the voice within me, I probably wouldn't be here right now, because I would have been in the shower and not heard the fire, and it could have spread in my apartment, and I could have been trapped. So I'm motivated. Okay? I'm motivated. I realize there's nothing more important than for me to be able to hear the voice for spirit. So I don't have a conflict in me like I used to about which thought system am I going to believe? Am I going to put even more energy into this? Am I going to believe even more what it's teaching? I'm not at that stage anymore of thinking that maybe I know best without my connection to source. So I'm listening like never before. And so when it says stuff like, a healed mind doesn't plan, and it's relieved of the need to plan, even though you don't know the best outcome, you don't even know the way to achieve the best outcome. You don't even recognize the problem that the plan is made to solve. That's deep. Now, I'm going to take this slow, because I know how the Course in Miracles can be. Okay, I'm going to go back one other paragraph, the one that starts out, a healed mind doesn't plan. So until those of you who are big planners, so you won't freak out, because you got a bunch of plans right now, okay? It says, a healed mind carries out the plans it receives. Okay, so it doesn't plan, but it carries out a plan that it receives through listening to wisdom that's greater than its own. What does that mean? It means if you have a healed mind, you wait. Wait until you've been told what to do. And then you do it. So you don't do anything until you get the guidance about what to do. And it says a healed mind. Now notice it keeps saying a healed mind. It's not talking about us. Are we clear? So before you kind of put some pressure on yourself and kind of feel like, oh my God, it's not talking to us. It's telling us the way we're going to be when we've done the curriculum. Okay, so it is not talking about us. How do we know that? Because we're probably full of plans. Plans that we make up on our own, right? And then it says, then after we make up the plan on our own, then we ask Spirit for guidance. That's the way the Course in Miracles says the unhealed mind does it. The unhealed mind comes up with what it thinks is going to make it happy, who it thinks is going to make it happy, what circumstances is going to make it happy, and then it asks Divine Mind, what should I do? I used the analogy last week. It's like a 2-year-old child deciding that shiny scissors would be the greatest thing it could give itself for happiness, which we know wouldn't be the smartest thing to give a 2-year-old, right? Right. Okay. And then after deciding that the shiny scissors, that's what's going to make it okay and make it happy, what does the child do? The little child then asks God for guidance on how to get the scissors. That's what we do. We make up what we think will make us happy, even though it might bring us the greatest amount of pain that we could possibly imagine, because we don't know what's best for us any more than the 2-year-old child does. And then we ask God's advice in getting the scissors relationship, the scissors job, the scissors situation. And then we're devastated because that which is divine loves us so much it doesn't give us 90% of what we ask for through 90% of the people we ask for it through. Because it wouldn't make us happy. Because nothing will outside of us. A healed mind knows that. An unhealed mind still thinks there's a person, there's a place, there's a thing outside of itself that's going to make it happy. An unhealed mind is constantly making up fantasies of what it thinks is going to make it happy, and then it goes after it by trying to control everyone and to fit everyone in the slots and the roles that it thinks it needs to get what it wants. And then ask God to help it get it. And if Spirit doesn't, it says Spirit isn't there for me. Spirit has been there for you so much that most of your plans have never turned out. That man you prayed for that never showed up, that was a blessing. That woman you prayed for that never showed up, oh, what a blessing. That job you got laid off on, oh, what a blessing. Everything that's ever happened to you has been a blessing. But you wanted to scissors. I saw a nice fine pair of scissors just this morning. I was a nice fine pair of scissors myself. But sometimes scissors can really be helpful, can't they? In the hands of sanity. So I don't mind being scissors in the hands of God. But I don't want to be scissors in the hands of my ego, my fear, my sense of separation. Forget that. I'm glad I don't know how to make myself happy. I've tried. See, I don't know about you, but I've had all my fantasies come true. I've been doing this enough years. I started when I was 23. I've had every fantasy that I've ever had come true. Once I found out I was innocent, I created my reality. It came from my mind. I was one with everything and everybody, and I was innocent. It was like, oh yeah. And I tried all I could think of. Every sexual fantasy, every relationship fantasy, every career fantasy, manifested lots of money. I did travel. I did everything. I met people who were just like me and who wanted to do the same things that I wanted to do and wanted to do, because that's the first rule to experiencing anything, is doing it with the people who want to do it with you. Because when you don't love yourself, you're always trying to fulfill yourself by connecting up with people who don't want what you want and are just the opposite to you and will judge you for that. But when you really want what you want, then it'll show up just the way you think you want it. Listen now. That's why Spirit wants you to go ahead and get any little fantasy you think you have, because the sooner you get it and realize it in and of itself won't make you happy, the faster you move toward what will make you happy. So not having what you want is a delay in your spiritual development. If you think you need a soulmate, a car, a house, money, whatever it is you've made up in your mind, reputation, go ahead. Spirit's not going to block you having that. So you go ahead and have it, so you can see it's not going to satisfy you, because nothing less than total and complete fulfillment will ever satisfy you. Even if people pretend for a while that they're going to do what you want them to do, and it'll always be pretending for a little while. And then they're not. You know that. You know it happens all the time. So feel innocent about your fantasies. Feel innocent about your desires. Feel innocent about it. They're not sinful. They're not bad. And so the sooner you give yourself what you think you want, the sooner you'll move on to what'll really give you what you want. So go ahead and try all of it. Think the next person's going to do it. Think the next job is going to do it. Think fame is going to do it. Think anything you want. Isn't that wonderful? There's nothing stopping us at all. Period. Except the belief in sin and guilt and everything we learned since we were children. But besides that, we okay. So then it goes on to say, if you got a healed mind, you wait until you've been taught what should be done, then you proceed to do it, and you don't depend upon yourself for anything except to know that you're going to be adequate to fulfill any plan that's coming to you from Spirit. So anything that Spirit tells you to do, you're going to be able to do it, and you're going to be adequate to it. The other thing, so therefore, if I'm in the correct relationship, the person that I'm in the relationship with doesn't think anything is missing about me. The Course in Miracles is a book about how to use relationships as a tool for awakening. Okay? If you want to learn how to have relationships that actually bring you complete joy and peace, the Course in Miracles is for people who want to use the path of relationships. That's its special path. It says it uses relationships as a means of saving time. So those of you who are relationship junkies, like everybody in here, in some form or another, then know that the Course in Miracles is a great path. Now, the first thing you learn about when you say you want to have a happy, peaceful relationship is the first thing you see is everything about relationships that's not that in your life. So as soon as you say, I'm ready to have a really loving relationship with somebody, and you offer it to Spirit, it says the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to become appalled at how poor you are at relationships, and how your relationships don't fit any criteria of that which is real. That's where it starts. People think just the opposite. Oh, I've given it to God, it's going to be the easiest thing now, everything's no, it's just the opposite. The minute you give it to truth, You're going to see everything that's not true about it. You're going to see all the BS in it. You're going to see all the selfishness in it, all the uncaring in it, all the victimization that you do in it. It's just the opposite of what you think, because it's not until you see what love is not that you experience what love is. So it says, the healed mind is secure in certainty that obstacles cannot impede its progress to the accomplishment of any goal that serves the greater plan established for the good of everyone. So nothing can stop a goal that you have that is for the greater good of everyone. Nothing can stop a goal that you have that's for the greater good of everyone. Anything can stop a goal that you have that's just about your own personal interest. So if all your plans are about just your happiness, lots of obstacles are going to come up. If it's just about your pleasure, lots of obstacles are going to come up. No real goal only is about you. Did you hear that? Yeah. No real goal is only about you. There's a statement in the Course in Miracles where it says, you do not know what anything is for. And when I first heard that, it was kind of shocking to me. It's like, it says, you don't know what your brother or sister is for. And at first I didn't get that. And then it says, if you think that person is in your life just to benefit you, you don't know what they're for. If you think everybody in your life is just to bring you joy, he said, then you don't know what they're for. And all of a sudden, that statement had a ton of validity to me, because I realized based on that, I don't know what you're for. Because in my past, that's exactly what you were for. Somehow or another, you were supposed to bring more joy into my life. I'm going to be honest with you. It's been all about me. And if you be honest, you'd admit it's been all about you. That's why you're mad. Why? Because somebody isn't doing something that's all about you. Your joy. Of course, unless nothing I'm saying is true for you. Now, if it's not true for you, I'm not talking to you. Okay, I'm only talking to those who recognize and go, you know, he's right. I'm talking to you. Okay, not necessarily the ones who are in denial. Okay. Because actually, some people probably think they know how to love people in here. Isn't that hilarious? What you doing around us? Well, you're getting an opportunity to love. Right? You know, if I'm the most loving person in the world and I just love everybody, it would fit that I would be dropped on earth where more love is needed than you could imagine. So people who think they love everybody, you ought to be glad to be here because you're needed. Now, the Course in Miracles says, read me slow. And that's what I'm doing. It's maddening when you do that. So what's the first stage to getting to the point that you actually experience relationships that are loving? You recognize how much you don't know a darn thing about having relationships that are loving. Okay? And don't take it personal. You know why? Because you weren't taught how to really love. So why be upset with yourself? You're just acting out what you were taught. We're acting out what we were taught. I was taught that love was special. I was taught that love is exclusive. I was taught that love is about agreements and bargains. I was taught that. So I thought that's what love was. What about you? So if you just want to focus on one person and you want one person to focus on you and y'all don't focus on anybody else but each other, and neither one of you know what love really is, then I want to thank you for taking both of you out of circulation. I think people who don't know what love is need to be focused on each other only for the good of all the rest of us. There is no one else that you're interfering with. I think that's wonderful. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Isn't that irresistible? All right. I see so much to love about so many people in my life. It is hard for me to imagine only loving one person. Any more than if someone told me out of my 7 brothers and sisters that I had to only love one of them, and if I loved the rest of them, I was somehow not doing love right. If I look at my library and look at my bookcase, I see lots of books in my bookcase that I love, and all of them are unique and have gifts that they give me. I don't think I'm doing something wrong by appreciating all the books in my bookcase. So a healed mind is relieved of the belief that it must plan, but a healed mind also can't know the outcome which is best, doesn't even know how that outcome is going to be achieved, doesn't even recognize the problem that the plan is made to solve. So until you recognize that you don't know the best outcome, you don't even know how to achieve the best outcome, and the truth is you don't even recognize what your problem really is, then he says you're going to misuse your body in your plans until you recognize that. You're going to misuse your body in your plans until you recognize that.
I just had a situation 2 days ago that it was this. May I just share it?
Yeah,
No,
sure.
it's what happened. I had raccoon mama have 4 babies in my chimney, and I thought they were just little birds, and I'd let them do that thing and then fly off. And the urine came down into my bedroom, you know, the smell of it for going on for a couple of weeks. Found out it was raccoons, got the people to come extricate, and the option was basically use chloroform and they die. And I thought, I don't want to do that. The others seemed that probably wouldn't work, so I said, Holy Spirit, all answers come in quietude. I have no idea what to do here. I got 30 people coming for a birthday party celebration the next day. You know, of course I want it quickly done, but I don't know what to do and I don't want dead babies here, so help me. Lay down on my couch. 3 minutes later, I'm shown a visual, the little teeny garage situation I have in the backyard. Put them in the garage at night, press the button, the garage door will go up, they can go, they don't have to be hauled somewhere else, and someone could get rabies doing it, no one has to die, use a little kindling, smoke them out, loud noise. We did it. Took 5 hours, didn't took half an hour to to do chloroform. They'd all be dead, they'd get out, I'd have my dinner party, whatever. I knew I had to choose again. I did what they said. Everyone lived. The mama took the 2 babies the first night, we let her out of the trap, took them the first night, came back, got 1 last night. I have total faith, because Holy Spirit gave me the solution. I could not have come up with it. Too fearful, didn't know what to do. Everyone's telling me different stuff. Probably will come tonight when I open the garage door, 10:15, come get the babies. I've alerted the neighbors, don't walk the dogs back there at night. Beautiful solution, everyone's gonna live. The people were so happy with me, they didn't have to kill them like they usually do. They were so thrilled to work with me. Took 5 hours, no problem. Holy Spirit gave me the answer I couldn't have come up with.
That's what I was saying about the fire. You see, the first thing I realized when I got into the Course in Miracles was that I was giving complete and total only lip service to the idea that I believed in a higher power. It was the biggest bunch of crock that I had ever been telling myself my whole life. You talk to 9 out of 10 people, they'll tell you they believe in a higher power. It's crap. They don't. Because they don't live like they do. They still are afraid. And if you're afraid, you don't know your connection with Source. It's just a fact. How could I be connected to the greatest power there is? And I'm not talking about a man in the sky. How could I actually know I am connected to the greatest power there is that loves me and sustains me and created me, and whatever created me must have also created what sustains me. Whatever created the cow created the grass that it eats. So there's no way you exist without simultaneously that which would sustain you also being created at the same time. So your fear is a witness that you think you're on your own handling everything. So that idea that I believe in a higher power, but I'm scared about everything and I got to figure it all out on my own, don't fool yourself like that anymore. Admit to yourself that you don't know your connection. And the minute you really and truly admit that to yourself, the universe will rush to your aid and give you the people, the situations, and the circumstances that will give you the realization of the reality of God. But it won't happen as long as you're saying stuff like, I love everybody, and you know you don't. I believe in God, but I'm scared to death of getting laid off, and will I be taken care of? I love God, and God loves me, and I'm freaking out because I don't have somebody to go out with on Saturday night. That's crap. It means you're innocent, but start where you are. Spirit will rush to your aid with enlightenment if you admit you don't know. Keep saying you know when you're miserable, and you shut yourself off from guidance. Keep saying you know and you're not happy, and you shut yourself off from guidance. I don't know opens up all possibilities. I don't know opens up all possibilities. I don't know what makes me happy. Oh, then I haven't put any limit on the way it can come. Now maybe it can come to me in the way that would really work. I know it's you. Maybe it's not. While I'm busy trying to get you to be the one, if there's a such thing as that, would be not even noticed because I'm so clear it's you. The fact that you said come within 100 feet of me and I'll call the police, that's just a challenge. Because the part of us that doesn't love us is always after what's unavailable, always after who's not available. You can count on it. Now, the Course also says the truth will put you to sleep, or the truth will be something that your ego will make you forget. So that's why when we study the Course, sometimes more than any other teaching, the desire to go to sleep will come up.
Yeah.
If you ever have insomnia, just read the Course.
Yeah.
You'll be asleep in 15 minutes. Don't care if you've been up all night long. The part of you that wants you to suffer will never let you hear what relieves you of suffering. And if that part of you is bigger, that likes to suffer, than the part of you that doesn't, you will go unconscious every time someone gives you the truth that would set you free. But is that going to stop me from saying it to you? No. Because I need to hear it. I wish I was just saying this just for you, but that would be one of those lies that I said I didn't want to say. I'm saying this for you and me. Most conversations bore the hell out of me because they're not saying anything that's going to make me wake up. They're just more victim. If this were different, I'd be happy. If they were different, I'd be happy. If this was different, I'd be happy. If they were different, I'd be happy. If this was different, I'd be happy. If they were different, I'd be happy. I'm not happy about this. I'm not happy about that. I wish this was different. I wish that was different. It's like, oh, that's so boring. Some of the most boring conversations in the world is the victim conversation. And I'm an expert at it. That's why I can be bored at it. Because I've done it so long. Oh, God. Are you having boring conversation?
Yeah.
Are you a boring conversationalist? Are you just talking about power, fame, money, physical pleasure, power, fame, money, physical pleasure, power, specialist, money, physical pleasure, how you can be, it's like, that's cool. That's cool if you're going to use those things as a means to wake up. So, do y'all know where you're at? I mean, some of you, do you really know where you're at? You're in a place where anything can happen to you at any time. I was planning to come to with a master class. I didn't expect to be down on the street in just my robe watching 4 fire trucks and I didn't expect that. That wasn't my plan for the evening. So remember, you're in a place where anything can happen to you at any time. Don't you want to have true protection? Don't you want to have your kingdom condoms?
It's only 99%.
It's only 99% accurate. I love how he said that you will misuse your body in your plans until you recognize that you should be carrying out a plan instead of making up a plan. And when you've accepted this is true, then your mind is healed, and then you let the body go. What does that mean, to let the body go? You're no longer seeing the body as being what's most important to your happiness, but you're seeing the mind and your spirit as what's most important for your happiness. That's what it means to let the body go. It's no longer what you're looking at as the thing that's going to give you what you want. You see the body as a means to achieve what you want. Where the body itself used to be the goal. The money itself used to be the goal. The specialness itself used to be the goal. Now it's no longer the goal. It's the means to achieve the goal. It's a way to get to the joy, the oneness that you're looking for. It's no longer a goal in and of itself. It's like going after a car and you just want the car, but you've forgotten what's really important about the car is it's a means for transportation. Having the car just for the car's sake doesn't mean anything. That's what you call a car collector. And some people are body collectors.
Yeah.
They collect bodies the way some people collect cars, and they think the more bodies they have that validate them, the more important and the more loved they are. Instead of realizing the body is a means for love, it's a means for joy, it's a means for connection, it's a means for remembering, but in and of itself, the body doesn't have any value at all. But it used to be the goal.
Would you say they could be applied to identities as well? Like, I am a father, I am a brother, I am a friend, I am a...
Yeah, everything that's not real, you have to explain to people what it is before they know it. So father is a concept. You wouldn't know I was a father just looking at me. So father is a concept. President is a concept. Friend is a concept. Concepts are stuff that you have to describe to people before they know it is. And what's real, all of us would be aware of without a word being spoken, if it's true. So nothing that's true needs to be explained. Everything that's not true, you have to explain to everybody. So the more explaining you're doing, the more unreal the connection. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Somebody in a relationship that you're really connected with, you don't have to explain yourself all the time. Y'all get each other. When you're in relationships that are not real, you're always explaining, you're always analyzing, you're always trying to get them to see your point of view. You're always getting a lot of opposition to everything that you say. It doesn't mean the person has to necessarily see things the way you see it, but it does mean that you have an awareness of the right and the freedom of each one to have their particular perspective, and you support that. But your goal is the same, which is peace, which is love, which is joy. There is no such thing as two people who want peace together that can't achieve it. There's no such thing as that. There's no such thing as two people. When you see two people that say they're always having something, they can't work it out. Somebody wants to be right more than they want to be happy. Somebody hasn't really made the decision to go for peace in their relationship. Somebody wants it their way no matter what. I don't form relationships with people who don't want peace. So I don't have a whole lot of relationships that I conflict in. That doesn't make me special. It just makes me sane. I'm just trying to practice sanity. Because you know what? I got kids, so maybe I do have to deal with them no matter what. But my friends, they're definitely by choice. So to be surrounded by friends that I'm always in conflict with, that's crazy. So if you're forming relationships that give you no joy, then admit to yourself you don't really want joy. And that they are the perfect means to achieve your goal, which is conflict. And they're playing their role beautifully by giving you all kinds of hell at your request. But those of you who want peace, which is total fulfillment, do you know that once you set that goal, the Course in Miracles teaches that the goal will create the means to achieve itself? I'll say that one more time. A clear-cut goal or purpose will create the way to achieve itself. So if your goal and purpose is clear, you don't have to worry about how it's going to happen. how it's going to happen is built in with the purpose that you have. So it's much more important to have a clear purpose than it is to know how you're going to achieve it. Most people are kind of lackadaisical on their goal, and they're always trying to figure out how to get it. A conscious being is crystal clear about, I want peace, I want love, I want freedom, I want to know my abundance, I want to know my oneness, I want to have total fulfillment. That's all I want. That's all I'm going to accept. And then they'll watch that goal draw the people in that allow them to have it. Draw the situations and circumstances will come to you. Spirit will send them to you when you are clear about what you want. So all you have to do when you leave here today is go, let me remember what my purpose is, which is a Course in Miracles lesson. Let me remember what my purpose is. My goal is God. My goal is love. That's the same thing you say. My goal is peace. That's all I want. I'm not going to be divided on that. That's all I want. That's all I'm going to accept. That's all that I value because that's all I deserve and that's all you deserve. Period. And that's the only thing I'm siding with all of you is that you deserve total fulfillment, total happiness, total abundance, total safety, total recognition. You are blessed. You are priceless. You are all treasures. Thank you so much for listening to this class today. For you. For you. See, that's what you are for. You are for the awakening of your friends and your relatives and your lovers.
Wow.
They're not there to get your fantasy fulfilled. They're there to help you wake up to who you really are, that incredible being that you really are. Now, the problem is, if they tell you you're incredible and you don't believe you are, you won't get too excited about what they're saying, and you'll probably doubt them. But please be smart enough to hang around them anyway. Even if they're saying things that are unacceptable, like you're really big. I'm a full-time teacher of the Course in Miracles, so thank you for being generous and seeing value in what I share. I'm going to pass this around. Hey y'all, do you know, those online, if you want to make a financial expression of appreciation, just go to my website, earlpurdy.com. Also go to my website and sign up for my contact list so I can send you a link so that you can listen and watch this class on all the classes on video again. And I'm also available for one-on-one sessions called Clarity Sessions, where I take all of the teachings of the Course and the way of mastering everything that I've studied for the last 35 years and bring them to your situation and circumstance. And those who are open to it, I also will use my knowledge of astrology and numerology, which is not teaching you that you're ruled by the planets and the stars. So if you actually don't know anything about astrology and numerology, please refrain from judging it. It's just another way to receive information from spirits. The Course in Miracles teaches that everything in this world will be used by spirit to wake you up. So that's why you don't have to quit your job necessarily for spiritual truth, or leave the relationship that you're in for spiritual truth, or make any kind of external changes for spiritual truth. You may be asked to do that, but it's not necessary. Spirit takes you exactly where you are in the situation that you're in and transforms you. So don't think that you got to quit everything and leave everything before you can get to the happiness that you are shooting for. If you choose to, that's okay, but it's not necessary. And that's what's going to be a trip one day. You're going to realize that you put yourself through so many changes unnecessarily because you could have allowed Spirit to show you how to transform exactly where you are. But if you really feel deep down inside that you need to make a move, then make the move. If you're being inspired to make the move, make the move. It's not like you still can't get the lesson through something else. So you're free. You are free. You are free. You are free.
Yes.
You are free. That's the problem. That's the problem. Because if you're free, no one's forcing you to do anything.
Yeah.
And that's why people, they just wait. It's because you're free. That the universe isn't blocking you in any kind of way. So you can stay in the same situation that you're in as long as you want, except to realize when you begin to wake up, then it's harder to tolerate minor intrusions of discomfort because you know it doesn't have to be that way. So if you find yourself becoming even more impatient right now, it's a good sign. It means you're waking up. It means you're waking up. So being more irritated doesn't mean you're not waking up. Being more irritated could mean you are waking up. And you know you don't need to put yourself through what you used to. Oh man. God. Are we family? Are we family?
Yes.
Amen.
Are we family? A healed mind doesn't plan. Your healed mind doesn't plan. A healed mind doesn't plan. A healed mind carries out a plan. A healed mind doesn't plan. A healed mind carries out a plan. Say what? A healed mind doesn't plan. A healed mind carries out the plan. Now, if you're feeling inspired, if you feel inspired, you're feeling in spirit. I'll tell you again. If you're having an idea and you feel inspired, if you are feeling something and you feel inspired, when you're feeling inspired, you know that it is the Spirit. Do you hear me now? When you feel inspired, you know that it is Spirit right now. So whatever you are feeling inspired about, whatever you are feeling inspired about, whatever you are feeling inspired about, that is Spirit. That is God. Because guess what? Watch out for the camera. There you go. I gave you the vibe. The Cheryl. The camera. The camera. That's all. I want you to move. Just don't block the camera. That's all I'm saying. Don't let it stop you. We are family. Get off your ass and let yourself feel alive. Get off your butt and let yourself do something other than stay in your head and acting all dead. Do something else sometime that's different from what you normally do. If you always sit back and never let yourself play, don't always sit back and never let yourself play. Be grateful that you have so many loving people around you. Yeah, and say, we are family. Say what? I know my sister with me. That's right, let's go. We are family. Yeah. Oh yeah. Everybody. We are family. All you want to do is ask this question. Say right now. Listen right now. The Holy Spirit to your higher self. Say this. Decide for me. Loving Spirit, decide for me. Loving Spirit, decide for me. Loving Spirit, decide for me. Loving, say what? Decide for me. Loving Spirit, decide for me. Loving, I deserve to be paid for having fun. I deserve to be paid for having. Say what? I deserve to be paid for having fun. I deserve to be paid for. Tell somebody. I deserve to be paid for having fun. I deserve to be paid for deserve to be paid for having fun. I deserve to be paid for. Guess what? If you love what you do, you're not working a day in your life. If you love what you're doing, you're not working a day in your life. If you love what you're doing, you're not working a day in your life. If you love what you're doing, you would not be working. You are innocent. 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 We are innocent. We are innocent. We are innocent and juicy and luscious and luscious and sensational and beautiful. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I love y'all. Thanks for coming. Whoa. Whoa. You can do it better than that for you.